Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Vanessa and I'm an indie author and I publish under the pen name A.N. Sage. If you are new to this channel, we talk a lot about, writing, because that is what I do, but we also talk a lot about other different creative paths. I am a creative entrepreneur, meaning that I do quite a lot in the creative field, not just writing. However, writing is a big part of it. So far, I have published 15 books and I'm not planning on stopping anytime yet. A lot of them are fantasy, pretty much all of them are fantasy. There's a little bit of sci-fi mixed in, and most of it is in the young adult area and genre. So if that sounds like something that you'd want to stick around for, I would love it if you subscribed and watched till the end of the video. I do drop videos here every week, so make sure that you're around for those. If you hit the bell notification, then you'll get notified when new videos are dropped. As another point, if you are new here, I do offer a lot of free resources for authors and creatives, and you can get that absolutely for free if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, and the links for everything are below. So the spiel is done. I have a really fun video for you guys today. I'm super excited about this. As some of you know, I am a cover designer. I do a lot of work in fantasy, all genres and fantasy or subgenres, but I also do a lot of contemporary. Been really heavy in typography lately. Cover design is my main source of income. It's my main business, and I just absolutely adore it. I've been a digital artist for a very long time, and so I'm super excited for this video today because I get to share some of my favorite covers. So the way that I buy books, I read all of my books on a Kindle, and I read a ton, so it just makes sense for me if I'm reading a book every couple of days to just stick to the ebooks of it. However, if I really love a book, and I will go out and I will also buy a hard copy of it for my little bookcases here. I have two of these. And a lot of times I will make my trips into Indigo and I will buy books based on, their covers, because that is what I do for a living. So I'm super excited to share some of my favorite covers, and I think these covers kind of encompass the trend that's coming out more and more. There's a couple of trends going on in covers right now, and I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. So I have stacks of books here in a few different kind of categories to show you guys some of my favorites. I've also, just to kind of, when we're talking about trends, I've snuck two of my own books in there. Because we have to. So you'll see those kind of up close paperbacks as well. And before I start sharing these covers with you, I want to show you guys, if anybody is wondering about my shirt, it does say author on it, and it has like the definition of what the word author means, and I just think it's super cool. I wear it now all the time as I'm drafting the first draft of Shadowhurst, since I'm working on another side project as well. But this is actually an author friend of mine opened a Bookish Etsy shop that has like all types of Bookish type of swag and t-shirts and stuff. And it's really good quality. And I just kind of wanted to like give her a shout out because it's just such a fantastic shop. I love all the designs. I ordered this from her and it arrived, I want to say, within like a week and a half, and that includes like printing, because these gets printed on demand. And I should say that this is like a side business for her. And I do have a video about how you can have businesses that kind of work for you in your sleep. So I will link that as well, because this, having an Etsy shop that does like print on demand printing for like shirts and mugs and all this other stuff, is actually like one of them, and it's such a good idea. So I'm so proud of her. I love this shirt. I'm so happy I got it. So make sure to check out her shop and show your support. And if you're into books, obviously you'll love this stuff. So we are going to start with a few covers, a few books that I have. And I wanted to show the hard copies. I could put them on the screen, I guess, but I think having like showing the hard copies was so much cooler because they're in your hand or in my hand. So just pretend they're in your hand when you say that. But I have three categories of books. One of them is illustration. One of them is typography, and the other one is photo manipulation. So I think that covers pretty much like everything that's out there as a big general like umbrella of covers. And I've just picked out a few of my favorite ones. A lot of these are in the young adult genre because I write young adult. I also read a lot of young adult, and so my bookcases are pretty much filled with a ton of young adult stuff. So the first one that I want to show you guys is Sawkill Girls. So first of all, this book is fantastic. I really liked reading it. So all these books I really love, by the way. And this is the cover for Sawkill Girls. So as you can see, it's illustration. What I really like, upside down. What I really like about the illustration for this particular book is that it is in a different style than what you would normally see. So a lot of times you see illustration, a lot of it would be like Bone Crier's Moon. I'll put it somewhere here when I edit. So that's kind of the style of illustration that has been really, really popular lately. But I love the illustration on this. It is super minimal. The positioning of the copy is so strong. The actual face, the eyes being covered, and the text, like the actual title of the book being in place of like most of the eyes. I think it's so brilliant. All of these like moths there, and the way it kind of almost fades out. You can kind of see a little inkling of woods behind her. Like, it just says so much about the book. And after I read this, I was looking at the cover again. I just thought, wow, this really encompasses like everything that this book is. And the illustrator, the artist for this, did like such a fantastic job. It's Ruben Ireland that did the work for this, and I just like, it's just fantastic. I just absolutely love it. Another one that's on the illustration side of it, and this one looks almost like photo manipulation because it's such a realistic illustration, is House of Hollow. So this is one of my recent favorite books. I think I'm adding it to my favorite book list, but I have read recently because it's not an older book, it's a newer book. And let me see if I can get it there we go, to focus. So this is another illustration cover, and I just think it's absolutely stunning. The layers of the kind of the typography over the face, everything kind of looks stitched together and pieced together. There's the girl on the cover. She's got these like florals over her, but if you look real close, there's blood trickling beneath. So it's just so simple, so stunning, just a big portrait right in your face. And I love that the typography, usually in books, you see the typography kind of like Sawkill Girl here, where it's all together, all the words for the actual title are together. I love how this is spread out and just all around the book. So another fantastic one. And as you can see, between the two of these, they're very different, right? Like, you've got even different tones. This one is a lot warmer. This one's a lot cooler. Different kind of lettering and everything, but yet they kind of play within the same genre of covers, and they have evoke the same kind of dark, ominous kind of feeling, which is exactly what these books are about. And then I'm throwing my own book in there because I actually have an illustrated cover as well. I got Cortega illustrated when it first, oh my God, this does not want to focus on, there we go, here we go. So Cortega was actually an illustrated cover. I did not illustrate this myself. I did the typography for this, but the actual illustration was done by Odette Aurora Bach. I will link her Instagram below. She is a fantastic, or her website. She's a fantastic artist, absolutely fantastic artist, and she absolutely nailed Sid and what she looked like. But this was an illustrated cover, and this is a young adult sci-fi fantasy mashup. And so I just looking around when I was looking for this cover and just trying to figure out like what I'm going to do for it. I did realize that a lot of the young adult like kind of sci-fi books at the time when this was published were very heavy on illustrated covers, and so I hired out an illustrator to get this done for me. And I just, like I said, I think she did like such a fantastic job. It's so minimal, it's like really just the character, very similar to these two, where the main character is the main focus. It's just a little bit less zoomed in. So I had her zoom out a little bit more so you can kind of see Sid's outfit there. And I just thought it worked super well, and the colors were super sci-fi. So I absolutely loved how she did this. Now our next cover, I guess I should say style, is, well, I have no words today. It's typography, and that's been around forever. You'll see a lot more typography covers right now in traditionally published books, but I'm seeing tons and tons of indie authors also go that route, and I'm working with a lot of indie authors that are also going the typography route. I myself have the Things That River Hides. Will pop here somewhere, and that is a typography cover, and so that's really popular right now as well in both indie and trad, but it is more trad heavy, I find. So actually let's start with this one, because this is an oldie by goodie. I think we all know and are familiar with the series by Holly Bach, The Cool Prince. I just think the typography on this, when I first saw this book, when I first read it, and when I first saw it, also like the typography. I should have pulled out the second book on this, but we'll just do, I don't even know if you can see it. But The Wicked King is another stunning one in this series. But I just thought this was so beautiful and so minimal, and the way it like kind of continues onto the back as well. It's so stunning. The white is great. Usually you see covers in the young adult fantasy genre. They're usually dark. This is stark white, which is so beautiful. Usually FAVE type books have like more magic and everything. And this is very simply like you see like the crown in there, so there's like very little in there to signify like FAVE, but you're getting it just from the look of this book, and I just thought it was so brilliantly done. The actual font that was chosen is wonderful for this, and I think I do. Yeah, this is I think Sveva is the name of the font, so you can tell, and it's just such a beautiful font to use for the book, and it stands out so much on its own. Along the same lines, we have Truly Devious. This might be one of my absolutely favorite like young adult mystery books. So Truly Devious is another typography cover that is very different from The Cruel Prince, right? So these are two very, very different covers. Both have some sort of greenery. So Truly Devious has like leaves and like this bright blue cover, and this entire series is all different colors. So like we have The Hand on the Wall is green, and then The Vanishing Stair is red, and so they all play together, but they're all prime colors, and the whole series is just really beautiful as far as colors go. I love the blue with the orange here, the Truly Devious written in like a handwritten font, which is very important for the book if you read it. And if you haven't, it's not really giving anything away. But just so simple and so beautiful. And it's just the color itself that really draws your attention on this one. And then another very different typography color, this one I have, and it's kind of gilded, but Serpent and Dove, and this entire series, right? This is a typography, like a symbol typography cover. So the symbol here being obviously the snake. You've got these like black kind of floral leaf kind of designs in the background. There's a lot of sparkle happening. So it's very magic heavy. Like, you know, this book will have magic in it, but you also know it's going to be like a little bit on the dark side. The font that was chosen for this almost looks like a music cover, like a cover for like a song, a music album, just because of the way the font is laid out. So it's just, I think it's such a smart cover. It's very central. The actual copy, very readable, and I love the snake forms the end. So Serpent and Dove, and the snake forms it. I just think this is so brilliantly well done. But again, all of these three are very similar. So if you look at typography covers, they're all very, I mean, it's not similar, different. They're all very different. But when we looked at the illustration ones, they read almost the same, different but the same. And that's the thing with that I'm seeing too, is that typography right now out there is very broad. There's all these different styles. Everybody's choosing different ones. There's like symbol covers, pure typography. There's somewhere in between. So it's really interesting to see the difference in typography. Whereas like the illustrated ones, I find that when a certain style of illustration or a certain illustrator, certain artist becomes very, very popular, there's a lot of emulation of that happening. And so the illustrated covers, you can kind of get away with less of doing something completely different, just because people are liking the illustration for that artist, right? So that's interesting to see as well. And then the last one is photo manipulation. And I'm going to start with Grave Maidens, which is a photo manipulation, but done almost in the style of illustration. And I just think this is so beautiful. It's so vintage looking, like it just looks so stunning. There's like hints of magic, much like the Cruel Prince. The colors are very light. You have like this gold, but this gold is more of like a brassy, vintagey kind of gold. And I just think everything looks so beautiful. I love that the florals are gilded, that the actual moths are gilded. Like everything is just so like kind of like low tone bronze, and that makes the glowing of the interior of this really stand out. So as you can see, again, the very minimal font for the title, but this one is flat across, but it's got a bit of a curve, and that just kind of gives more volume to this entire front cover. And you also have the curve here with the florals, which mimics the curve of the typography, which is very, very clever, I think. Then, yeah, super simple spine design. The back, also very simplified, which is that little moth as a separator. It's a very clever cover, I think. And then I don't have, I have a couple, but I thought this was a good time to kind of throw in my own photo manipulation covers in. So I'm bringing out the Witch of Shadows, which is another style of photo manipulation. This is very popular for the Kindle Unlimited books right now, or just has been for a long time. But this style of photo manipulation, where it's a character on the cover, and then you've got like kind of central titles and central author names, etc. And it's all very kind of like, you have some that are very colorful, some that are more like this, where just like one color really heavy, some that are very subdued in color. So you'd have like a very desaturated book with maybe some sparks of color. Like maybe if there's like a silk going through the front, that would have the cover on it, a piece of clothing, a weapon, the magic or something, that would have cover, and everything else would be desaturated more or less. But this is another style of photo manipulation where it has the character on the cover. Now, all of my Shadow Horse, the entire series, all 7 books and the novella, all have Billy, who's the main character. They have her on the cover, and that is very popular in these books, even in the ones where it's like a paranormal romance or even a reverse harem type books. You usually have this one static main character on the cover, and the whole series would be based on that. Now, if you have multiple POVs, you might have more. I have multiple POVs in the series, but it doesn't start until later books, and so it made more sense to just keep Billy on the cover. And this is one of the covers that I designed myself too, so I'm like pretty proud of it. I love the typography in this one, and then you can see the spine and then the back. So I just really liked working on this, and this went with my theme of my author name, like my brand name, like the blues. There's a little bit of purple in there, but it's mostly blue. Blue is a very recurring theme in most of my books, and so it made sense to do this. The only one that differentiates for me has been The Things the River Hides. It's because it's such a different book than the other ones I've written that it made sense to make the cover very different. So those are some of the favorite covers that I have way more. I just kind of had to narrow it down to enough that we didn't have like an hour-long video, but I have a ton more. There's like all of these, so I can do more of these videos. If you enjoyed it, if you want to see some more covers that I really love, and if you want to see more videos in general about what covers and what works and what doesn't work, then make sure that you let me know in the comments, so that I know to make them and that you enjoy them. And if you're interested in actually learning how to do fantasy book cover design. I do also teach courses. I have another course coming up I'm working on right now, but I have currently a big, kind of like a flagship main course that covers everything you need to know for fantasy book cover design. Now you do need to have Photoshop knowledge, but the reason I'm saying that is because, this is the last day that I'm running a sale on it. So you get it for $200 off. It's a big sale. The biggest one I've ran on this course so far. So just make sure that you check it out and that you sign up for it if this is something that you're interested in. If you have any questions about it, just comment or email me and I will be happy to respond ASAP. So this is the stack of covers. I wonder if you can, there we go. You can kind of push it behind me here. But that is my favorites so far, or my top favorites that fit into these 3 different cover styles that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I am super happy to be back in front of the camera. I have had quite a bit of a break where I pre-filmed a lot of stuff, but I'm very excited to be doing these videos every single week again with you guys. As always, let me know in the comments if there's any questions or any questions you want answered in video format. If you have any ideas on videos that I haven't covered yet, do let me know, because I want to create content that you all will be interested in. And as always, if you have subscribed, thank you so much for being a part of this community. It truly means everything to me. And I will see you next week. I hope you guys are enjoying your summer so far. It is finally super warm here where I am, so we are enjoying it every day as much as we can. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying it too, and I hope you stay magical, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.